Hey everyone, welcome back to the British Accent Podcast. I'm Sophie.
And I'm Liam. Thanks for tuning in, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, whether you're walking, studying, or just scrolling through your phone.
Yeah, speaking of scrolling, that's what today's episode is about. We're diving into something super relevant: how to learn English in a TikTok, YouTube era.
Because let's be honest, these days, most of us are not opening grammar books first thing in the morning. We're watching 60-second videos with subtitles. We're hearing slang in reaction memes. We're learning from creators without even realizing we're learning.
Exactly. The way we consume information, and especially languages, has completely shifted. A few years ago, people were still mainly learning English through classroom drills, or long listening CDs. Now, a 30-second video with a clear accent, subtitles, and a relatable example can teach you more than an hour of traditional studying, if you're paying attention.
Right. But here's the thing, even though TikTok and YouTube are full of language content, not all of it sticks. You might feel like you're watching English every day, but still not improving. So the question is, how do we actually learn in this kind of fast, endless scroll culture?
That's what we're going to explore today. Is it possible to build real fluency from short-form content? Can you really improve your vocabulary just by watching vlogs or reaction videos? And how do you keep focus when your brain is jumping from one video to the next?
We'll talk about what's working, what's not, and how you can turn your TikTok or YouTube time into a serious learning habit without it feeling like homework. Because in this era, your algorithm might just be your new English teacher.
Let's get into it.
Alright, so let's start with this. Do you think short-form content like TikTok or Instagram Reels is actually helping people learn English?
Yes, but there's a big but. It depends on how you use it. I've met so many learners who follow English creators, watch videos every day, and even understand most of what they hear. But when it comes to speaking, they freeze. Because they are just watching passively, not actively engaging with the language.
That's it. There's a difference between entertainment and education, even if they are in the same video. If you're just watching for fun, it's not bad, but you can't expect your English to improve magically just because the video has subtitles or someone speaks with a nice accent.
Exactly. But if you slow down, maybe repeat the video, write down phrases, say them out loud, suddenly that 30-second video becomes a powerful learning tool. It's all about what you do with it.
And you know what's interesting? With short videos, you often get repetition without realizing it. Like, if you're on English TikTok, chances are you'll keep hearing the same phrases, idioms, or grammar patterns across different creators.
Yeah. I remember seeing this one phrase, "you nailed it." It showed up in 5 different videos in the same week. By the end of it, you just remember it. That kind of organic exposure is so helpful.
But then there's a trap too. Sometimes people only learn trendy expressions or slang, and they use them everywhere, even in formal emails or serious situations. That's when it gets awkward.
True. Just because it's popular online doesn't mean it's appropriate everywhere. That's why it's important to be curious, not just about what people say, but why and where they say it.
And honestly, YouTube is kind of the middle ground. It's not as short as TikTok, but not as long as a Netflix series either. So if you want to go deeper, like understanding a British accent, or listening to more complex ideas, YouTube is a goldmine.
I totally agree. I always recommend English learners to follow a few creators who explain things in English, not just translate everything. When you listen to explanations in English, your brain starts thinking in English too.
Right. It's like learning through the language instead of about the language.
Exactly. And one more tip, if you find a creator you like, don't just watch one video and move on. Watch several. Stick with them. You'll start recognizing their rhythm, vocabulary, tone, and your brain will pick up patterns more easily.
And you build this almost personal connection with how they speak. That helps with pronunciation too. You start mimicking not just the words, but the flow, the pauses, the intonation, the way they emphasize certain parts.
So maybe the real question is this: how do you turn these platforms from passive entertainment into active language input?
So let's start with this, Sophie. When did you first notice that people were learning English from social media?
Honestly, probably around the time people started sharing their Learn English with Me routines on YouTube. I remember seeing creators just talk about their day, using simple English, and it was getting millions of views. No grammar breakdowns. No tests. Just real-life English. That's when it clicked: this is what learners want. Real language in real life.
Exactly. And TikTok took that to the next level. Like, now people don't even need to search how to learn English. It just appears on their feed: phrases, idioms, pronunciation tips, all packed into these bite-sized, casual videos.
But there's a catch. Just because you're watching English content doesn't mean you're actually learning. If your brain is just passively scrolling, it's easy to forget everything 2 seconds later. The trick is turning passive watching into active learning.
Totally agree. One thing I always tell learners is, don't just watch the video. Repeat after it. Pause and mimic. Or even better, turn it into your own content. Use the phrase you just heard in a comment, record a response. When you use it, you own it.
That's such a great point. Also, don't underestimate subtitles. Some creators now add both English and your native language, side by side. That's like gold for understanding fast speech. But you've got to take a second to notice the language, not just read for the meaning.
Yeah, we need to move from entertainment to intention. For example, if you're watching a British vlogger talk about their day, don't just enjoy it. Ask yourself, what expressions did they use that I didn't know? Or, how did they transition between ideas? That's how you pick up rhythm and flow.
And pay attention to tone, not just words. Because platforms like YouTube give you access to how people really speak, not the robotic classroom version. You'll hear things like kinda, gonna, do you know what I mean, all the messy, natural stuff you need to sound more fluent.
Speaking of messy, let's talk about accents. Some learners get overwhelmed by all the different ways English sounds on social media. One day you hear an American influencer, the next day an Irish comedian. It can be confusing, but it's actually a good thing.
Yes. That variety trains your ears. It teaches you to be flexible. If you only ever hear one accent, your brain gets lazy. But if you expose yourself to different voices, even just a few minutes a day, your listening comprehension will skyrocket.
And the more confident you get with listening, the more confident you get with speaking. Because you stop obsessing over being perfect, and you just start communicating. That's something this era really encourages. Imperfection is normal. People care more about connection than correctness now.
And I love that. It's like, if you post a video of yourself practicing English, no one expects you to sound like the Queen. You just need to sound like you, trying, growing, being brave enough to speak. That's powerful.
And let's be real, this generation is learning more from comment sections than textbooks sometimes. People are asking questions, correcting each other, sharing new slang. It's like a living, breathing classroom, just way more fun.
Exactly. And it feels safe, too. You can scroll, observe, and join in when you're ready. No one's pointing at you, asking you to read out loud in front of the class. You can learn at your own pace, on your own terms. That freedom makes a huge difference in how motivated you feel.
What's really cool is how learners are becoming creators themselves. Like, I've seen people documenting their English journey on TikTok, showing their first English sentence, then their progress month by month. That kind of self-accountability? It's motivating not just for them, but for everyone watching.
And it humanizes the journey. You realize, oh, that person made grammar mistakes in their first video too, and now look how fluent they sound. It breaks the myth that fluency is this impossible goal. You see real growth, and that gives you hope.
I also think the TikTok YouTube era has changed what we think counts as studying. Before, if you weren't sitting at a desk with a notebook, it didn't feel like real learning. But now, you could be brushing your teeth while listening to a short clip about phrasal verbs. That is learning.
It is. Micro-learning matters. 5 minutes here, 10 minutes there, it adds up, especially when it's every day. It's more about consistency now, not cramming. You don't need to block out hours. You just need intention and a little routine.
And let's not forget how social media makes English emotional. You watch a vlog and feel something, laughter, sadness, inspiration. And when you feel, you remember. That's why a funny TikTok might teach you more than a grammar table ever will.
You're right. Emotion creates memory. If a video makes you laugh or think deeply, you're more likely to remember the words that were used in it. That's another reason these platforms are so effective. They make English personal.
Plus, it removes the pressure of studying. You're not just learning English, you're watching cooking tutorials, story times, travel vlogs. English becomes the background music to things you already love.
And that's when it really sinks in. When English isn't just something you practice, but something you live. You start dreaming in it, thinking in it. That's the magic of this new era. It lets English sneak into your life naturally, through your passions.
And the more you enjoy the process, the more likely you are to stick with it. That's the big win here. Because at the end of the day, it's not about learning fast, it's about learning forever.
Exactly. And now, with all these platforms at our fingertips, the classroom is everywhere. On your phone, in your pocket, in the next 15-second video you scroll past. The real question is, what are you going to do with it?
That's the real question, right? Are you just going to scroll and passively watch, or are you going to turn that scroll into something intentional? Every clip, every post, every video can be a tool, if you choose to use it that way.
And it doesn't have to be complicated. Start by following creators who speak clearly, who talk about things you actually enjoy. Comment. Repeat what they say. Try to use their phrases in your own way. Bit by bit, you're building fluency and confidence.
At the end of the day, the TikTok YouTube era isn't replacing traditional learning, it's expanding it. It's giving people more ways to connect with English, more chances to feel immersed. And honestly, that's powerful.
So whether you're learning from a 5-minute TikTok, a 10-second meme, or a 20-minute vlog, know this, it all counts. Your English is growing every time you listen, speak, and feel something in the language.
And if you ever feel like you're not making progress, just remember, fluency doesn't only live in textbooks. Sometimes, it's hiding in the videos you love, the songs stuck in your head, and the creators you look forward to watching.
Thanks for hanging out with us on the British Accent Podcast. We'll be back soon with another conversation to help you grow your English, your mindset, and your confidence. Until then, keep scrolling smart.
And keep speaking brave. See you next time.